What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ruse Reviews, and today we are talking about Screenplay by Gary Sumter and Ace Magic Studios. So, let's get into this. So, before we get into today's review, I should give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Brown Bear Leather Goods. You've probably seen them before on this channel. Brown Bear Leather Goods are a company based out in Dubai that make, in my opinion, the best handmade, personalised leather goods for magicians. Also, if you use my special discount code RUSENTME, all in block capitals, I'll place that down here, you'll be able to get 15% off your next leather order with them. So here we go, Screenplay by Gary Sumter and Ace Magic Studios. What is Screenplay? Screenplay is a book test, but it's a book test like none other that you've seen before. This is what it looks like right here. It's actually called Filmation on the front. This looks completely legit, and I will say this. This is probably one of the most well-designed, beautifully made book tests that I've ever seen. This will probably be because Gary Sumter has a graphic sort of background, that he knows how to design things and draw and make things happen, but everything in this book is stunning, from the posters to the details to what you can reveal. Everything is crazy. Let me say this. There is no memory work in this book test. None. I have no idea how he's managed to do it. Well, I do, because I know the method, but this is genius. I actually got this mentioned to me by a good friend of mine who's pretty picky when it comes to mentalism effects, and he said, get it, you'll love it. And he was not wrong. So what essentially happens is you give your book to the spectator. They can go through it and see that there's loads of posters, loads of details about the films inside, and you get them to pick a film that maybe they've seen a few times or maybe means something to them. It kind of feels a little bit better than just asking them to pick a random one. So say they go through and they pick Shrek 2. You can reveal on this page the details of what is drawn here, so in this case popcorn. You can reveal the average number of daily online and on-demand views. You can reveal the one-line review number here. You can then reveal details about the film and what number in the franchise it is. So in this case, it is Shrek 2. You can add Shrek 1, Shrek 3, Shrek the 4th, I believe, but all of them, if they're in this book, you can reveal what number in the franchise they are. And this can all be revealed from knowing one piece of information. Just one. If you've seen What's Cooking and you know how that works, you know you only need one piece of information to reveal all those other details as well. With this, it's even more justified, in my opinion. This really is a genius book test. And I'm sort of a bit funny with book tests. I do a few sort of impromptu book tests and a couple that I've come up with for my fringe show and for stage show and parlour shows. This would fit right into that. I love the detail of this book, and you know what? For the price tag that this is, I think it's like $120. You get a hell of a lot. And the method, I'm pretty sure I swore at Gary when he showed me how it was done. So, not only can you reveal the movies and all the details on the page, you can also have some added bonuses as well. Some little extras that you can add into your routine. One of them is a really cool movie trivia quiz. This is what the movie trivia quiz looks like. Essentially what happens is you ask the spectator some questions. This can be done in sort of like a longer framing of the routine. And you ask them these questions. And once they write down the answers, the first letter of each answer spells out Terminator. So this is great if you want to force the Terminator in this book. I think that's absolutely brilliant. It's just a nice little cool kicker ending. There's also a built-in reveal for Final Destination. If you force them Final Destination, and Gary goes into how he forces in the instructions, if you go through the book and force them Final Destination, there is also a specific anagram tied into this book which spells out Final Destination. Now this is great if you're doing a slightly longer show and you have a whiteboard and you can do all that in front of them with the whiteboard. Really nice, really cool, just added extra something just to sort of fill out and flesh out your routine a little bit Really strong. As well as the Film Nation book, when you buy Screenplay, you also get the virtual cinema experience. This is a free bonus effect that they've just paired in together. It's really cool. You can chuck this in at the beginning of this effect or at the end to sort of bookend it, or as a standalone effect. Essentially what this is, if you've seen Gary Sumter's Chocolate Challenge, they've redesigned that for use in this framing. Essentially what happens is the spectator is guided to 9 cinema screens in their mind. Each screen that they're in, they place a movie ticket over each movie until they are left with one. That last movie is the one that you have predicted. This is completely self-working, and I think really cool that they've added this just as a little something extra to put at the beginning or the end of the Screenplay book test. So back to the book test itself. There are loads of films in this book. I don't know if I mentioned it at the start. It seemed like hundreds, but there probably isn't. There's just a lot of films in this book. Some of them old, some of them new, all of them people will recognise. One thing I should point out is that spectators do have to open and read bits of information and look at images and digest the information in their heads. The book is quite heavy and the arms do slip down occasionally. Sometimes the book gets closed once they've got the information. This is only from what I've tried a couple of times. Now this can be managed easily with audience management. It was easy for me just to go, can you just place the book back up there just because I don't want to see it or get a glimpse of it or anything like that. That's totally fine, but it's just something to be wary about if you do go out and perform this. What I really like about this is it really feels like I could just leave it on my bookshelf here in my living room or on a table. And when someone comes around and wants to see something cool, I can just pull this out, show them it's a genuine, bona fide movie book and blow their minds with something crazy. This would fit really well into the current Fringe show that I'm working on, which was meant for this year, which is now next year. I can see a lot of people getting a lot of use out of this. As I say, probably more for parlour or stage. For walk around, I wouldn't carry this, it's a bit too big. But I can see why Gary has made it this size. It really makes it seem like a legit Film Nation big, like it's one of those sort of movie books that you go into WH Smith's and you find on the shelf, and it's got some credibility to it for that reason. Also, Gary is offering free shipping anywhere in the world when you buy this book test. That's crazy. Like, that is just a new level of customer service. Free shipping anywhere in the world when you buy this book test. Really nice, really grateful that Gary can offer that service with this product. So, the instructions for the Screenplay book test. These are about 40 minutes long, all taught by Gary in his home studio. Everything was really well shot. It is just one shot, two camera, and Gary goes through everything. All the little touches and nuances that are in his performance that he thinks really adds to the use of this book, and also different ideas for routining as well. As I mentioned earlier, Gary also mentions his riffle force and how he uses it with his play on influence with the final destination reveal that is built into the book. There's really not too much I can say about this book test other than I rarely like book tests, and that is usually down to the method. This method I have never seen anywhere before. The method for What's Cooking, Gary's original book test that he put out through Ace Magic Studios, I have never seen before. But this takes it to a whole new level. I highly suggest, if you're looking for a book test that looks genuine, justifiable, and you can throw into your show whilst making it relevant to people, and let's be honest here, has a really cool, killer method for obtaining all that information. That's like 5 bits of information plus more from one piece of information, which is super easy to get. Just get this. Just don't even think about it. Get it. It's about $120, which might seem like a lot, but look at the production. Look at the production. I've paid so much more for book tests that have done way less than this. So, guys, there's really not much else for me to say. Go out, buy Screenplay. Links are below, and I will see you all very soon for the next one. Ciao.